What's going on? Just want to do a little recap on this past weekend at the Icebreaker. Certainly, afterwards didn't go the way we wanted to go, but just want to give a little bit of, some reasons why. Before the Icebreaker this weekend, I just finished up my first year at Grand Valley State University. I'm going there for mechanical engineering. So I just finished up my first year. Exam week was literally the week leading up to the Icebreaker. Fortunately, I didn't have too many exams to really have to worry about, but I had a lot of assignments to turn in, and it made for a tough week beyond just getting the race car ready. So certainly that kind of put a damper on kind of everything we had going on. And ultimately beyond that, it was a busy winter semester for me with some of my classes, and that's ultimately kind of, we didn't ever get a chance to go practice the car before the Icebreaker, which was a little unfortunate. So with that said, we didn't know what to expect. We had made some changes, put a new seat in the car as I had outgrown the one that I had. We had to replace the ignition box, and we changed a coil with that as well over the off season to conform to the rules this year. So we did some changes like that. We didn't know exactly what to expect before we headed out to the track on Friday for Berlin. Had a test session on Friday, which was very beneficial for us. So we showed up on Friday, went out on the track, made it a couple laps, and then car just started running horribly in terms of the ignition. So car just didn't shut off, but just kind of slowed down randomly off the corner and made some weird noises. Nothing I had ever heard of before, not just in the car, but like personally ever heard a car do. So I was a little confused exactly what it could be. We changed the ignition box back. We kept the exact same wiring harness that we had last year, so we knew it was just those components. We changed the ignition box, no success. But unfortunately, we ran out of time on Friday to continue to get to the coil and change that. So we made the game plan Saturday, would change the coil. We did so. That fixed the issue. So we don't exactly know. We're going to look into what was causing that. If it's either the coil is bad or maybe not good wiring for it. We're going to look into that to try and learn, make sure we understand what was going on. And then with that said, kind of what stemmed into our next issue for Saturday was they had opened up race tire purchase on Friday. And with all those things going on and us trying to get out on the track to try and fix this issue, fortunately, we just ran out of time to kind of, not ran out of time in terms of getting the tires, but just kind of put ourselves in a spot where we just made a bad decision with tires. Last year, we fought a lot with having too much stagger, rear, particularly in the rear of the car, which made the car too loose. So we ultimately made the decision to go with a little bit less stagger, and that's what we had. So we were just what we had was roughly 1 3/4 inches, and we were like, let's just try it. Let's see what we get, try and learn from it. Well, unfortunately, we went unqualified, and the car was, considerably tighter than I would have liked it to have been. And we certainly kind of paid the price there. And then when I went out in the race, it tightened up even more. And ultimately, it was to the point where I really was doing no good out there. Really slow. The car just wasn't able to turn in the center of the corner. So I had to make the decision to pull off the track, save the tires. Maybe we'll get the opportunity they're not going to work with the set we have. Maybe we'll be able to pair them up in the future with some other tires. But just made the smart decision. Don't need to be in anybody's way. And especially with the issues we faced on Friday, we got out of the weekend what we needed to, and we can certainly reevaluate and, get on better track in the future. So with that being said, certainly not what we wanted. We hate kind of showing up on a race day like that, not knowing what's going to happen, or, knowing that there might be some issues we need to work out. But just we're happy that we were able to find an issue, get it fixed. We feel completely comfortable now that everything's good. So we're looking at the next race is going to be May 10th at Berlin. So we're looking forward to that and, being able to focus saying, okay, we went too far on the extreme on tires. Let's bring it back and hopefully make this work. So we're looking forward to try and find those tires and put together a good effort on May 10th. With that being said, doing a little bit of a quick turnaround this week. I was out this morning getting the car all cleaned up, blowing it off, getting all the rubber off of it and just cleaning it up, because we are going to head to Owasso for one of their Wednesday practices. We're going to make a few stops there throughout our season to, just go out there, try different track. For me personally, I just want to try and grow myself as a driver. Owasso, more of a paperclip type track, still a fast track. But you got to use the brakes a little bit. You got to turn the car a little bit more than the momentum-based tracks like Kalamazoo and Berlin that I've raced on my entire late model career. So looking forward to doing that. And so we're going to give that a shot, try and learn some things there. And then we'll be back at Berlin before we head off to Owasso, I believe on May 17th. So we're going to start to stack up into the season. The season's already underway. It's crazy to think. But happy to be out of school. Happy to be back at the racetrack and behind the wheel of this car. Just want to thank our partners on the car, all the way up on the hood. As you've seen in previous years, the Vinyl Spectrum, great vinyl store. You can purchase vinyl through them, either in-store or online. Lollipop Crafts, Dennis and Penny, for all their help with the little knick-knack goodies that we love making and handing out to our friends, family, and supporters. C-Tech Performance for the great bullet underneath the hood of this car. Padnos Metal Recycling out of Michigan. If you're in the, they're a new partner, but if you're in, Michigan and you're in the manufacturing industry, I'm sure you know of Padnos and all their metal recycling that they do. Rob Enders at Schaefer's Racing Oil and Lubricants. Dutch Boy Hot Rods. For all the paintwork they did a couple years back for us, making this car look great. VP Racing Fuels by Foster Blue Water Oil for supplying us with some 110 VP Racing Fuel. These cars go through a lot, and it takes quite a bit, and I'm very happy to have them helping us out with those obviously that very nice smelling race fuel in this car. So very thankful to have them. They're one of our new partners going into this year. FLF Race Cars, Tim Curry, all the guys that have helped us there. Actually had to get a hold of Tim the week before the Icebreaker to help us get a bracket made for the seat. Me and my dad are not the best fabricators, let's just say that. And we weren't exactly sure what we were going to do. And when you're putting in a seat right, safety, very important. So we wanted to make sure we did it right. Kind of made up a little template to take to Tim. You can't even see it in here, but it goes behind the seat. And Tim bent it up, welded it together in like 20 minutes, and I was on my way to go get the seat put in. So I thank him for his willingness to get that done for us, and obviously do it right. So I really appreciate him for that help. And then on the deck lid, McDermott Equipment Solutions, Jen and Adam McDermott, for all the help that they've, all their support through my racing career. So with that being said, looking forward to being at Berlin May 10th. Definitely looking forward to a little bit of a better effort, a little bit of a less hectic weekend, so we can actually, go get wheel to wheel with some great guys out there at Berlin, and certainly hoping to see you there. So till then, we're gonna keep working on our stuff, get ready to really get after it. I think it's gonna be a good season. So until then, see y'all later.